That gold hardware on this damn guitar is gonna be so pretty. There's the entire guitar. First thing is putting on the strings. The only real deal about putting on the strings is make sure that you wind them around the right way. It needs to go in this way, and then we turn that way. That way they don't try to pop off of there. And you also want to leave some slack. Leave, 2 or 3 fingers under it so it gets about 2 or 3 wraps on there. Now keep it from going out of tune. So, hey, do you like my pajamas? Oh yeah. So all the strings are on it. Let's plug it up and see what we got. I'm leaving this table here because I think we'll need it. Okay, let's plug it up. Turn it on. Let's see. Set the volume up. Bridge pickup. What? That is because it needs a string height adjustment, a truss bar adjustment, and an intonation adjustment. Time to adjust string height. When setting string height, one thing to remember is there's a kind of a curve, like a curve of the fretboard, and you want to make sure that your strings match that curve. Take this pack of strings and see if it will fit right here. Okay, there it fits and it doesn't touch. There we go. Try to keep that same height. This one needs to come up. This one needs to come up. Raise this a little. Okay. Let's see what that did. Look from the side. These still look a little high. Okay, that's about right. Alright. Now we've got our heights. Okay, so I'm most sure that most of you know this, but this here is how you adjust string height. Put this in here, you crank it that way for a taller string, and this way for a lower string. You may hear like a little bit of what seems like string buzzing in my video because I have my action extremely low. But that is so that I can play some good country music, and it will spank against the fretboard. That's on purpose. Yeah, that's a country sounding guitar. Oh, and if you're saying, oh, maybe it's the amp that's making it sound all country like that. Oh no, this is just a little amp that I got for $15 at the thrift store. It's a Rogue amp. Tiny little thing. Well, now we're going to go for intonation. So here's a quick and dirty explanation of intonation adjustment. You're going to hit a string, then you're going to touch this 12th fret and hit it again. And what you want it to be is exactly 1 octave higher. You can use a tuner. You make sure it's exactly where it was, then hit this and it should be exactly where it was again, just 1 octave higher. You take these little saddles and you shorten or lengthen the string. If it's too high, you want to move it this way and make it longer. And that's how you do that with these screws back here. So it's a little high. That, I believe, means that I'm going to want to back this up. Now. I'm going to go a little bit more. That's slower, so that's closer. Right here, we only have 3 saddles. So you have to do 2 strings at a time. Some people think this will allow proper intonation, but I think, you know, kind of like horseshoes and hand grenades on this. I'm going to go just a little bit more. That one's perfect. Alright, that's the first 2 strings intonated. Now you do the same thing down through here. You'll Yep, it's a country guitar for sure. Now let's try the last 2. Okay, they're both high. That means that this one needs to come back a little bit. Looks like they're all going to end up in about the same place. Just a little bit more. All right. Okay. Now, as far as this goes, I want this pickup a little closer because it's a little quiet to me. So let's move it up. Now, it should be just a little hotter now. I do like that. Go a little bit up on the low side. A little bit up over here. Let's try that now. put the mod to make it that way, it's still a little, what I call tinny, high pitch. So I'm going to lean the front of it forward, get more from over here than back here. I mean, this only works to a certain extent, but it will basen it up a little bit. More on the high side too, or low side of me. Get it closer to this top string so that we can get a little bit more bong bong. Yes. Now here's that tone mod I have. That's pretty country sounding, but we roll this back a little bit. Turn the amp up. Now, let's do metal with this thing. I know it'll metal. It's got that. That means metal. I know that seems messed up to people that don't understand it, but if it's twangy, it's rocking. Okay, now I want to do this as a comparison. Now, let's see if we can get some screams out of it. Yes, metal. But also, as far as the truss rod adjustment goes, I really don't see the need for one. I see how this bottom string could go up a little bit, just a little bit here. But as far as a truss rod adjustment, I don't see the need for one. Which is kind of too bad, because you never need to be afraid to stick your Allen wrench in there and crank it. If it's the last 7 or 8 frets over here, if it's bent like this, then loosen it. If it's bent like this, then crank it up, tighten it, and you're on. But that right there is, I mean, like flat as flat gets. Let's retune. got that, Prince. You roll it back and that's pretty good right there.
Yes.
So this is a old Panasonic Japanese hi-fi, probably mid to late 60s. And I'll put a little solid state amp head in there. See that? And we're gonna just dime everything out here. Everything dimed out. I'm gonna show you a little bit closer about how the tone mods work and how the volume pot and the treble bleed works. Treble bleed in here. When these are all the way up, it's not going to affect anything, but I can turn this back to get more treble, and then if that's a little bit too much, I turn that back. So that's bright, so we can roll it back. Check out this amount of control I have in this, and remember, this is solid state, not tube. We'll check. I've never had a guitar with a usable tone knob. It seems like every one of them, they'll just go all the way to that, just useless within this much motion. But this one, you can really blend it. And we are at full gain, full overdrive here. And I'm getting such of a clean but you can go. And then we got turn it up. And you see now we got too much bass bled off, especially because it's a Tele and we're on this back pickup. So I hope that shows a little bit about these tone controls, these tone mods here. So let's try this with a tube amp. This is a 1967 General Electric Portify that's been modified and changed into a guitar amp, and I will leave a link in the description of a playlist to that. And here is a homemade reverb that goes with it. That is also included in the amp build video. And here would be a telly. Let's hook it up. See a little bit more reverb. Ooh, old tubes. She's a rockin'. Now we're going to go on the easy side, like that. I'm Clementine. That about does it for this series. Time to wipe this baby off and put it up. Please like and subscribe.